Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Stretford Paddock for another episode of the Paddock Podcast, joined by Al and Steve. I think Joe hit the nail on the head in the paper talk this morning, lads. The morning after the shite before. We're going to talk a bit about the game last night.
It's more afternoon now, though.
Yeah, it's more afternoon.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it, though.
No.
I don't know how you can tie shite into that. But we're going to be talking about the game last night, touching on it a bit, looking at, the future. Obviously, January transfer window opening now. And news coming out doesn't really sound too positive.
Fucking terrifying, I think it was the word looking for.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
The fact that the club's seemingly briefings, I don't know, because I didn't get a text.
Surprisingly.
Woodward wasn't like, here's the crack for January, but like the journalists who definitely do get that text have been saying the club are making all the noises that it's going to be really difficult to do stuff in January. I don't get why. Do you know what? I can understand if you leave it till the 29th of January and then start phoning someone up and they'll be like, why don't you fucking sling it? Fair play. But if you was like 2-3 months into the season and like all of us going, we really need someone who can be a creative ball player.
Yeah.
We knew that in the summer, right? So if you've got those targets, like we scouted 802 right backs, why didn't we just scout 401, right? And then go scout some midfielders. Or start some work on recruiting some midfielders. Why don't we go and say, right, do you know what? Let's go for whatever come October.
Yeah.
Start trying to line up our first 4 or 5 targets in a couple of different positions. You don't wait till the 1st of January and be like,
right, we need midfielder now.
Let's get some work done.
Do you think we put all our eggs in the basket of Haaland?
No,
which is kind of
mad if we did. I don't think so.
It's the only thing we've kind of heard concrete so far. Ollie, all but admitting that both sides are admitting that they met with each other. And it kind of begs the question, where in God's name do we go from here when it comes to signing players? It's just a complete clusterfuck at the moment. There's reports coming out from everywhere that obviously Woodward isn't actually in charge of making the deals anymore. People saying that, I forget which window it was, that sources from inside United basically saying that Woodward fucked up. And that's a direct quote, fucked up and shit himself so many deals that window. And it was
the first one, the Moyes
one. The other day.
Yeah, something. But
the Moyes one, wasn't it?
The Moyes one. But like, who's running the show here?
I don't know.
We've heard, like, is it producer Cam saying it's him? I really hope it's not. I'd rather Woodward be doing that. And then we were talking to the office here. You mentioned a couple of pre-contract guys that come in, and we were saying players like Mertens, Cavani, Matuidi, Callahan, they're all out of contract.
You
sent me a few names.
Before. There's a load of players that are out of contract in 6 months.
Ericsson as well, Joe saying as well, he's out this summer.
Cavani, Meunier, Fraser, Mertens, Eric Bailly, obviously we're not going to sign him. Goetze, Callion, Matuidi, David Silva. That'd be a coup.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine into meltdown?
I don't think that happened.
No, Matic, obviously not, and Lallana, obviously not. But like, there's some decent players like Mertens.
Yeah, you probably, if you can get him for under 50 million, you get it for under 20 is a good little stopgap. Even
Cavani. We need a striker. We need someone who's different. We need someone who's not going to, like, complete... What's Cavani? 30, 31?
Yeah, he's only just the wrong side of 30 now.
Right, so, like, are you telling me that Cavani for... I mean, I'm sure his wages are ridiculous. So you could pick him up... A bit like Sanchez, you could probably pick him up for nothing, essentially. But fat wages. Now, if he wants to go and bring someone in for, like, that on, like, an 18-month deal... I don't think anyone will have a major issue with that. I don't think.
The only thing I think is Cavani probably wants to start every single game now, coming to the end of his career. So if he's going to go somewhere, he'd probably go somewhere that he knows that number 9 spot's mine. There's not much competition. Don't really know where that would be. Maybe even Chelsea. No, Chelsea wouldn't have it. It wouldn't be him and Abraham would probably swap out. But he'd go somewhere that he's going to be the number 9.
Very well at Chelsea, actually.
Yeah, I was going to ask as well. Everyone's obviously. I think we can all agree. Playmaker is kind of the position that is pivotal to bring in this window.
And an 8.
And an 8 someone that can... Just some legs in midfield. Someone that can do it and that doesn't look absolutely knackered in there. Because that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, Matic yesterday just looked so off the pace.
The funny thing is, I thought he was actually one of the better players yesterday.
He wasn't. In the second half, I think he got a lot better. I think he was better than he was. Matic.
Behave yourself.
No, I'm just saying it speaks volumes. He was one of the better players yesterday.
I think in the second half he was better. First half, though, he was caught out of position so many times and just didn't...
It was mad. It wasn't even just like wrong position. It was just weird position.
Like, why
are you there? Yeah, what are you doing?
I should say as well, get your recommendations who you'd like to see come in down the comments below.
Gary in the comments there says Cavani's going to Athletic in the summer. Of course he is. That's such an Atletico signing.
Perfect.
Do you think?
Yeah.
He's not going to get gamed. Will he get... Well, I suppose Morata and Costa
Costa might go. I think they're looking to get rid of him.
As well.
João Felix is more of, I think he could.
And we were saying the playmaker position as well, and it does kind of bring us on to what we were going to discuss today, and that is, Jesse Lingard. We've always been big defenders. Well, not big defenders, but we've always, at least myself, kind of been a defender of him in the past. I said maybe his stats don't tell the full story. He still offers a lot to the squad.
His stats absolutely don't tell the full story, but you've got to use him as the right tool for the right job.
I think.
Unfortunately, the way Arsenal played against us yesterday, they just took Lingard out of the
Arsenal
game.
Didn't play as they have done before. They bypassed midfield a lot yesterday. They went straight in, much more direct. Back four didn't hold on to the ball that often. There was not much passing around the back. It wasn't a game for Lingard to be pressing the back four. It wasn't. They never went through the six either. They never went through Xhaka and they went straight. If they can get it to Ozil, they would. Otherwise, it was going into the wings.
Very direct. They just totally bypassed him.
Very Liverpool style of play where they kind of just bypass the midfield. They don't go through midfield.
But they hold the possession with centre half a lot more.
Yeah.
They didn't even do that.
Arsenal didn't do that. They just went. Even the keeper was putting it straight out to the wing backs all the time. There was no opportunity for Jesse to do what he's good at.
It is a bit of a damning stat, though, that like the 0, and I know he's been injured for a while as well, but the 0 goal, 0 assists, especially when we're in need of a playmaker. It begs the question, we've heard a lot about Angel Gomez. I said it during the summer as well. There was something weird at the fact that Mata had signed that contract extension, and I thought, okay, maybe he's going to be very much a bit part player, and Angel's going to be bled into the squad a bit more. You would have thought yesterday would have been maybe not throwing him in at the deep end as such, but it was just a game made for someone like Angel Gomez to make something happen.
Contractitis thing is that it's that Herrera, same as Herrera last year. I think
that's another example of what is going on.
And this is the thing. There's no point having players like that there. If you get it dealt with early, have him sold. Should have been sold. If there was talk last summer that he wasn't going to stay, he should have just gone right. Okay, let's take the money now, even if it's a little. Get rid of him and let's replace him. Let's not see that he's not going to play. Yeah. Almost same as Pogba. Like they faffed about with him this year, and whether he's been injured or not, if he was going to go eventually, why didn't you get rid of him and reinvest it straight away?
Would you lads bin off Pogba now if you could in the window, or given our situation, would you keep him to the end of the season?
I don't think right now, even the talk of I was probably 2 weeks ago saying Matic has to go. I don't think you can physically get rid of Matic right now. You can't lose any more numbers
unless
in the field.
Spurs want him.
Unless Spurs want him, and you're getting someone in, as in he's going, Eriksen's coming the other way. As long as you get numbers in. But I mean,
check this out. Right, Pereira's played 18 games. Lingard's played 18 games. Pereira's started 14 and come off the bench 4 times. Lingard started 9 and come off the bench 9 times. Per 90 minutes. Who's got more key passes? Now Pereira's got 3 assists and 1 goal, and Lingard's got no assists, no goals.
I would say Lingard just because he plays a lot further forward than Pereira. Yeah.
It's Jesse, but he's got less assists. But and a key pass literally means a pass which leads to a shot. So that's an assist, but for someone else not finishing it, really.
Yeah.
So I think the no goals, no assists, I think it's a weird stat to hang your hat on. Because I think the assist especially is someone else. I think his shooting has took a bit of an impact because I think he's in his own head about the no goals, no assists.
Yeah.
And he's trying. And I think he gets desperate, or he looks a little bit desperate.
I think it's going to sound like death, but I think if we'd have won that Astana game 1-0 with him getting the winning goal, I think he might have come back with a bit more confidence. But the fact that we end up losing that game away, even with our kids, and then the post of him putting the captain's post out there and stuff, I think it kind of took the gloss off what would have been quite a bit of a turning point for him, where I think confidence would have gone a bit better. I've gone away in a very young team and I got a winning goal maybe. That would have been a big thing to come back on.
Yeah, because he scored in the Cup as well, as well as the Europa League.
I think he'd have had something there, but I think he's come back in. And also he got them played in... I mean, he played very, very well against Tottenham and against City, back-to-back games there.
Danny Man in the comments there, anything to make it look like Lingard has done anything worthwhile. It's not, is it? It's literally just examining the facts. I just had a look. Pogba is getting 3 key passes a game, 2.9. Mata's 2.1. Lingard's 2. Pereira's 1.9. That's all of our midfield. You do with that whatever you will. But the assist is obviously like... It's not really so much on the guy. I mean, and Paul Scholes didn't have a whole lot of assists. But if you go and watch who played the ball for the guy who got the assist.
And there's a lot of people in here now jumping on saying Lingard's crap. Everyone would slag him off and all this. Yesterday he was crap. We're not trying to defend him yesterday. He was poor yesterday.
Good against City and Tottenham.
He was good against City and Tottenham. He was poor in the...
That's always the game you see.
He was poor in the Wolves game. Not Wolves game, the Watford game.
Yeah.
He has been poor, and we're not backing him saying that he's been good in them games. We're not trying to defend him in that case whatsoever.
It's amazing.
In the comments there, Ben, how's Howson keep backing Jesse? I've dropped him loads of times. Yeah. My preview for which game was it? Watford.
You didn't even have him in the
Drop these 4 players. Yeah, I didn't have him in the team in the Arsenal game either. I literally said drop these 4 players and like back him every time. I fucking clearly don't. You're just listening to
the other thing is,
what
like,
you want to.
There's players that we slag off for having bad performances and stuff, but a lot of the time it's the only ones you really slag off are the ones that aren't putting a shift in. They're the only ones you say. Like, you can say how many players have had bad games, but like it's Jesse always puts the miles into it, and he's not had a very good season so far this year, but you can't tell he's not gone on the pitch and put 100% in every time.
The issue of our number 10 position, and it might be a symptom of what's going on in the greater, wider world of the team. Pogba's not a number 10, but he would be a player that you give that creative licence to in a midfield three for me. If you're going to persist with 4-2-3-1, and I don't like it, so for all those that are like, you just defend Solskjaer to the hill, listen to what I'm fucking saying, I hate that formation. If you're going to persist with 4-2-3-1, the 3 players that he chooses to play in that number 10 position, and Angel Gomez being the one that he doesn't play, none of them, including Angel Gomez, are perfect. No. Or even close to being very good.
You probably need Mata's vision with Pereira's more end product, because he has got a shot and a decent
Pereira's
physicality. Pereira's physicality, maybe with a bit of Jesse's legs in there as well.
Yeah, and maybe Mata or Angel's decision making.
Yeah, so something within that. You've not got, I think Pereira, I said this, I think it was maybe a brew or something. I think Pereira's only in that team because he's the closest he's got to what Solskjaer actually wants.
An actual playmaker.
He's someone that's got the physicality and can do the
look
legs.
at him and go, he's the easiest one to finish because Mata's not going to get 10 years younger or quicker. No. Jesse's not going to develop a final ball or ability to beat a man. He's never had that, to be honest. Pereira has got a final ball. Pereira has got a half-decent shot on him. Pereira has got physicality. He's just got the decision-making of a child. Really he's very childish in his decision-making.
Yes, I think he's the closest to... Because I reckon Ollie's still... I think Maddison is probably his number 1 for that role. Yeah. I reckon he's... For age, for price...
I'd love to see Grealish as well.
Grealish should probably jumped up that list this year.
Is he? Should we be looking at players like Grealish though? I know he's a good player and he's getting a lot of hype and that at the moment. And ditto for Maddison. I do like Maddison. Maddison did create the most chances in the league last year, not this year. But would Barcelona, Real Madrid be looking to sign this sort of player? And if they're not, should we?
I think we because don't think we're at that level right now.
But nowhere near. If we wanted to be at that level, shouldn't we be signing players that aspire to be at that level?
Is there potential that he gets to that level, Grealish, though? Do you think he's got the technique? He's definitely got something about him because everyone raves over him. I didn't see it up until
he does have a bit of an X factor about him. I can't quite put my finger on what it is.
I think got attitude as well.
The problem is now is he costs 60 million. He just if you'd have picked him up in the summer for 25 million, 30 million, I think you'd have gone, that's a good signing that. And you'd have seen that this year. But right now, I think signing him for 50, 60 million, which is what it's going to cost, because Villa are just going to go, you need this player. It's 50 million, 60 million.
It's the United tax, isn't it?
That's what it is straight away. I think I don't think he'd crumble, but I think the pressure on him and the pressure on the players around him to make sure he was doing well would just be unbelievable. And I'm worried the same with Maddison, because I think Maddison's a very good player, but the price getting thrown around for him...
It'd be 100 million.
I think for Maddison.
It would be 100 million.
Because he's going to sign a new contract. Because we're not getting him in January.
Has he? Because there's a lot of talk that he's going to sign it, and it's going to have some sort of agreement in there that if X number whatever comes in, mainly United. Because remember, they signed him from the Championship. He'll be on an academy wage, essentially. He's not going to be on, all pressure. He's not going to be on 100k or anywhere close. He might even be on half that. So he's going to sign a big fat contract, which might put, why do Leicester want to sign him a new contract? Well, it holds his value, even though I think he's still got 4 years or something left on his contract.
But they know that if that next contract is the big one for him. Fred was, and someone just said there, Fred was 60 million. Who cares if Grealish is 50 million? But everyone slags Fred off and says he wasn't a good signing. Like you can't have it both ways. You can't. say that was good business now.
Transfer prices have been mental for 20 years.
Yeah.
When Zidane went for 49.1 million, you're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But like, would you go? Okay, we're saying 50 or 100 million for Madison Grealish. Joe touched on it in the paper talk, which as well you should definitely check out. Yeah. Christian Eriksen is a player who would.
Says he drink his own piss.
He did say that.
He did say
if it was free. He said if it was free, he would drink
some piss.
So send your piss in to the office. That's an idea for a vlog. But Joe touched on Christian Eriksen, a safer option, one for free in the summer as well. Questions about his attitude, given the way he's carried himself at Spurs. Is that something, maybe a route we should go down?
But is that just like, if the team have all fallen out, like, is he just one of the symptoms of that? And, is he going to be, like, mega at a new club?
It's very plausible that could happen at United again, though. I mean, we're not stable in by
very
any
much
means.
It could be Sanchez 2.0.
Yeah.
Or it could be Cantona.
It could be, you don't know. You don't know how that
fell
goes.
Out allegedly over alleged things with allegedly.
I think under 30 million you take Eriksen right now. As long as the wages are
midfielders down, aren't we?
Yeah.
Just get all the players.
Just at the minute right now, it's just if we can get anyone under 50 million that's half decent, just get them in at the minute, because that's just we need.
Yeah.
People saying about Longstaff as well.
Oh, well, that was going to be my next point as well. Ollie's clearly got this ideology of, the style or the character players he wants to bring in. These young, apparently British so far.
Just let me do a quick poll in the the votes. If you would take Grealish now for 10-15 million more than he's probably worth, give us an up. Thumb. Give us a why can't I? What's
emoji?
It called?
A like. A thumb. Yeah, a like.
Well, a dislike. All right, and a dislike if you wouldn't. How about that? Let's have a look what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
But I forget what I was saying there a second. Anyway, Longstaff. Yes, sorry. Sean Longstaff as well seems to be these the profile of players that Ollie's going to sign. These young British players. Does it not strike you as maybe a bit like Sean Longstaff? And there seems to be some truth in that. Like, are we just signing these players for the sake of them being young and British? Because he's just.
That's why we tried to sign Haaland.
Yeah. But like,
he was born in Leeds before he started. Which is in England.
Players like Longstaff as well, just literally shoving someone in there for the sake of it. So Newcastle are probably the only team, or one of the few teams in the league this season, that have a worse midfield than we do. And yet we're trying to get a guy who doesn't even... I saw Abdul making this point on Twitter, and it's so true. Getting a guy who doesn't even start for them into the club. Why is it like... Oh, it just baffles me sometimes.
I'm not sure.
The scouting network at this club is absolutely shocking at the moment. We said Dan James was the first unearthed gem probably we've signed in nearly a decade since Javier Hernandez. Think how many deals and how many transfers have gone on between Dan James and Javier Hernandez, and not one bargain, nothing. It's just...
Jonathan McConnell in the comments there. Wrong-headed thinking here, lads. Grealish and Maddison are brilliant attacking talents, but do they fit Ollie's alleged aggressive pressing system? Grealish and Maddison do they have the right attitudes, essentially?
I think Jack Grealish, given everything, because Jack Grealish has had a lot of shit to put up with, going from the fact he did...
Leicester press as well.
Yeah,
Leicester press, yeah.
But like Jack Grealish, the fact, he had all that shit when he defected from Ireland to England, bit of a wanker, we could say, the way he carried himself when he was younger.
Yeah,
and he's kind of shrugged that all off. He took the relegation. What was it? Longest streak without winning a Premier League game in history. Jack Grealish has.
Yeah,
something insane, like 30 games. And he's come back, he's come up this season, and he's been fucking unbelievable. And a player like that who takes not back is just something I'd like to see. But again, I do think Maddison's a better player. And people will argue about the price. I don't fucking care about price at this stage. Price is just out the window, because you just can't argue about price when it's this.
No, you can't argue.
It's urgent.
You can't argue about price, but I just think that those kind of young players that you sign for that. I think Maguire was a different thing. Maguire was an established player that I think, for everyone was worried about it, was always going to do well. He was always going to do 6 out of 10 every game. He was never going to be one of them players that flopped at United.
No.
He was never going to be that.
Just maybe not
but
the star.
If you spent 80 million on Jack Grealish, you could see him you could see someone like that, a young attacking player, where there's more pressure on him. There's more pressure on him to actually do something where they pull up 0 goals and assists for you every 5 minutes or whatever. That you could just see him like that. That could weigh on him a bit more. It's different for a centre half.
Let's have a look what he's doing this year then, stats wise.
Well, we're saying you were saying in the comment, you were saying is Jack Grealish a type of player that Barca or Real Madrid would sign? I would say no, but there's also this argument that, and that's why I think a lot of people like the Dan James deal, picking up players like that. You know, oftentimes big clubs pay big fees to lower clubs when you know. United don't want to pay for big money to a stopgap. Like if Grealish was to go to someone like, if, for example, Spurs picked up Grealish hypothetically for like 20 million, did well there, we'd end up paying 80 million. Cut out the Spurs
like
thing,
we'll do with Haaland
like
we're going to do with Haaland in 3 years when he comes back up available again.
But the fact that we can't even tie our own players down to contracts like Herrera,
less key passes per 90 than Pogba and plays higher up.
Well, that's the argument as well. All these attacking midfielders that we've been linked with, are any of them better than Pogba? No. But it doesn't look like Pogba's going to be here for much longer. No, and I think that's a reality now.
I'm certain he's gone.
Yeah, I think he's checked out already now completely.
I think the Pogba stuff's I'm just like, no, just get rid of him now.
Is he injured?
Don't know. And I think, like you said yesterday in the rant you had on the watch along, is that even if he is injured, he's not doing the right. He's not saying the right things off the pitch whilst he is injured. It's not difficult to put a picture of you watching the game on your TV with your feet up.
It's so true.
Saying "Good luck, lads."
I had to look through his Instagram as well, and this sounds so trivial. But you look through other footballers' Instagrams or social media, there's always some sort of support for the club, even when they're not. You look through Paul Pogba's Instagram, there really is not a lot. This sounds so trivial, but it's so true. There's nothing really United related on there.
It's the
same thing with Angel as well. Everyone's saying, "Oh, he's not getting the contract, he's not doing that," and then people are speculating why he's deleted loads of stuff off his page.
We all know.
Why. And this is the thing: is that even if it's not. Because he's
birds nipping out at 11 o'clock every night and coming back after a couple of drinks. He's having drinks on Tuesdays. You fucking know, my mate. You know what's going on.
And the thing is, even if it's
you're just lying to yourself.
Even if it was just a thing he did, said, I need to get rid of my Instagram, I want down to 8 pictures or something, and I've chosen these, and I want to change my profile picture. Don't do it now. Don't do it whilst you've not signed your contract. Yeah. Fucking wait 6 months. Sign your contracts and then do it. Do those things, or just come out and say, I want to go. Like,
delete your Instagram.
Do something. Like, it's...
Look, Mason had a contract put in front of him in, I think it was August.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Signed it.
Fucking signed it. Yeah, did you even hear any fuss about it?
No.
Actually, was it even public that he was negotiating?
No.
I think he just announced that he was signed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just done.
I'd heard a whisper that something was happening because there was conversations about image rights and stuff like that around some people that I know. So I knew there was something in the works without getting a full, he's getting a new deal. And then it was just announced that he signed it. So Mason got a contract put in front of him. There was no flirting. There was no this, that and the other. There was no, fluttering his eyelids at any other fucking club around the world. It was like
this.
How long is it? How much is it? Signed. Done. And guess what? Mason plays.
Yeah.
So for everyone that's like, oh, Angel deserves a chance, ability-wise he does.
Yeah.
But there's politics to football.
Yeah.
And whether you agree or disagree with it, it's just a fact. There's politics to football. If you're not going to sign and you've made your intention that I'm going to leave, well, with the English tax on him, he's a 20-30 million pound asset, I'd say. Just about to walk off out the door. He's been developed at United since he was 8 years old. 11 years of being developed to make him a first-team player for United, and now he just wants to walk out the door. Now, you can say, wasn't given his opportunities. Did he take his opportunities? He's fucked around with a contract twice. His pro deal and now this deal. He's fucked around with both of them, and now he's walking away. So maybe the club are just fucking fed up with him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know this for definite, and I don't know what was put on the table when he turned pro, and I don't know what was put on the table for him for definite right now. There's obviously, we've heard the rumours that there's a Barcelona one on the table and there's the United one on the table. They're both similar sort of cash. I don't know if they're similar sort of status.
No.
Is one of them saying, you maybe got another year on loan in a 23s and then we'll see? Is one of them saying, first team, give you a number 10? We don't know the nitty-gritty of those conversations.
Yeah.
And ultimately, a footballer at his age now, 19 going on 20, should be the sort of player that is now knocking on the door, doing what Brandon's doing, having people go, fuck me, why is he not playing week in, week out? That's what people should be doing with him. And they're not doing that. For me, and I can be wrong on this, but in my opinion, they're not doing that because he hasn't signed his contract. I'm almost certain if Angel Gomez had gone, fucking do it, 3 years, 4 years, whatever,
he'd be playing.
Signed up, there's not a prayer he wouldn't be playing. Look at the chances that Ollie's given out.
I know. And there's the games he could have played. There's so many games he could have played in.
This week.
He's been in and around the first team. We forget how long. He made his debut in 2017. How many Premier League appearances has he made in that time? You could probably count on one hand. Something just doesn't
there'll be,
add up in
there'll
that
be people saying that we're slagging these players off, but we've been pushing for. We've constantly said that Pogba's our best player.
And
We've constantly defended him, saying that the stick he gets is wrong and all this. Same with Angel saying how good he is. We wanted to give him a go, and we've put him in many teams saying we should start him and all that. But right now we're just sick of all this kind of stuff. Yeah. If you sign it and
too much drama.
There's a lot of and again. Drama. The board probably has a big thing to play in this. They should be sorting this out. They should be better at sorting this out. But done with it all now. There's no point. We can't have, and to be fair to Ollie, I think he did the set like Lukaku didn't have any of this shit. As soon as there was sort of questions about it, off you go.
Yeah, so Lukaku was making sounds like noises in training and just being a bit of a knob.
Back in March, wasn't it?
Yeah, in a bit.
Something like
Sanchez arguing with the right winger, you're going
in a fucking bit.
Yeah.
So if Ollie is going to be given the time, which I think he needs, and he's going to be given the backing to make the squad in his image, that might mean jettisoning Gomez. It might mean jettisoning
And to be fair, he did it with Herrera as well. For as much as I was a massive Herrera fan, I would have loved him to stay. Wounded he went. But I think Ollie did very well, where he just went, he's not signing his contract, he's not in my team. Especially even towards the end of last season when we needed him in that team.
We all knew towards the end.
And he was injured and stuff.
So is Ollie a man of principle in this sense then?
I think there's a lot there.
What's happening with Pogba?
I think there's a lot there. I think there's a lot of this. Do we need to? Could we just take a little bit of principle out and get our best players and us not be?
Are we in a position to be on our high horse?
Yeah. I think
well, the word was supposedly that's Hugo in the comments is there. Havertz good for Man United. I'm going to go watch a lot of Havertz this weekend actually because the word on the street is that there might be something in Havertz, whether that's for now or summer. There's actually supposedly some truth to the rumour, so I'm going to go watch him and form a proper opinion on it, because right now I've only seen highlights and that's not enough usually to go on.
You know what's going to happen though, don't you?
Yeah, he's not going to sign.
He's going to go to Bayern. He's going to go to Bayern in about 2 weeks, sign a 4-year deal in the summer, as Bayern always do, because they monopolise the entire fucking league.
But I think there's loads of stuff going on there. Like one of the lads that I know at the club told me. What day are we on?
Thursday.
Tuesday it was. So Tuesday, Pogba's injured.
Yeah.
A bit of good news. Should we have some good news?
Yeah, go on. It's all been a bit depressing.
Demi Mitchell's back in training on Monday. Demi Mitchell, first time in training this season, because I hit about 3 of them up and was like, where the fuck's Demi Mitchell?
But he was on loan at Hearts last time I checked. Like, was it last season or the season before? And I don't know how he kicked on there.
Amazing. They loved him.
At Hearts, did
they? Because he was... It was a more dribbling version of fucking Trent, but on the left. Yeah. It was just fucking making shit happen all over the place. Very reminiscent of an early Evra, actually. Just, I mean, a left winger that's just been converted to left back, and he's just fucking having it, essentially. Yeah. Scored a couple of, I think he scored a goal of the month, maybe, or he scored a wonder goal at least. Anyway, I don't know if it won goal of the month. But, is that another name in the fucking hat for... something to do at left back, or is that just another player we're probably going to release at the end of the season?
It's another player.
Fosu Mensah's within days of fitness as well now. I mean,
it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Timbo. If you're watching, probably not.
If you are, yeah.
Whatever.
He watched Full Time Devils.
So was he not subscribed to Paddock?
I'm not fucking spoke to him.
Fucking grip, man.
I saw him at the Player of the Year Awards, and I was walking past him and went, Timbo, and he stopped me, and he was really fucking weird. He grabbed me by both arms like that. Like, what's going on here? And he goes, yes. And I went, do you watch Full Time Devils? And he was like, of course.
Yes.
I was like, fucking give us a cuddle then.
Housing with a fan, Timbo Fosu Mensah. Just one more player before we look ahead just a little bit to the Wolves game. Gedson Fernandes, none of us have really seen much of him. Sky were reporting literally.
Don't think fucking Benfica fans have seen much of him.
Benfica.
I said before, was there not a Gelson Fernandes that played for Benfica? I thought
was he not a sporting player?
I don't know. I thought it was the same.
City and Everton. Gelson Fernandes, was definitely one who scored a banger against United like 10 years ago. I
thought it was it.
But apparently, one played for City. Yeah, but the Sky reporting.
Hang on. Let me address this. Hey, Housen, is Haaland still coming as per your sources? When did I say Haaland was coming?
The sources said that that came out that Ollie met with Haaland.
Yeah.
Raiola said
never seen me say, I've heard
Raiola said he met with Solskjaer.
Yeah.
They've confirmed all this. He definitely did.
What I actually said was, I don't think Ollie comes out and says what he says in a press conference without it happening. And I think Ollie probably thought it was fucking happening as well until it all came out. You've never fucking seen me claim to know what's going on with Haaland. Do you know why? Because I fucking didn't.
You would have got a better chance of getting the deal.
I think Raiola's just gone, fucking, this is perfect for me. Sell him for 20 million to them, and then someone will, if it goes well, someone
He
will
will go well. He will. I think
someone will buy him, because it's one of them. If it had gone to, even if it had gone to the club, it doesn't, like a Madrid or anyone, pick someone out of the hat that was top team. Even if it had gone there now, he wouldn't have gone for more than 30 million because of the release clause or whatever it was. Now you weren't going to get that. You could get 90 for him now.
I mean, I don't know. You all said you thought there was some stuff going off with the different Raiola clients and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of players that haven't reached their potential under Raiola because he moves them around so much, causes trouble so much. Does anyone know? Because I had a quick glance at all of his clients before, and I didn't immediately see anyone that jumped out that's had a long career at one club.
No.
Seems to be players that are just moved. I mean, Zlatan's probably one that definitely hit his potential.
Yeah.
But obviously moved around a hell of a lot.
But the question, seen as like a club legend.
But not just that. The question is, could Zlatan have been better if he'd have stayed somewhere?
Well, like we said, he's not won a Champions League.
No.
But every team he's has won a Champions League during his career.
Yeah.
Every one of them, I think.
Yeah. Was he
apart from possibly
was he on loan at Milan when Barca won it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just was in the wrong fucking place at the wrong time with Inter and
then
Barca.
PSG as well. But
they was never going to win it. No. Actually, yeah.
Especially when he was there as well, because they were just literally they just got him the money and they were just building the team together. Yeah. But just literally on Gedson Fernandes really quickly, Sky saying he'd prefer a move to the Premier League. This smells so much of Renato Sanchez. I can't even stomach it. This lad is, how old is he? He's only turned 20.
Big Renato as well.
Oh yeah, Renato.
Portuguese.
Oh, yeah?
He's 21 in...
Like Hoist Gracie.
21 next week.
Brazilian. I know, yeah, that's Portuguese. I'm not being pernickety, but... Renato Sanchez, this guy's Renato Sanchez 2.0. Just a fact. I don't know. I've always said
again. It all depends. If he costs us 40 million, then it's not. I don't know. But if it's a 20, I'm just looking on transfer market.
You need a safer option.
Steve, was there anything in this story that Pogba was Snapchatting the Madrid badge? I'm going to say no, but I don't know. I'm not on Snapchat. If it's a secret Snapchat, it's not very fucking secret because by the looks of it, he's got his full name on it.
Oh, speaking of other credit, Marcus Rojo in a PSG shirt. What's I
reckon
someone said it was a shirt that he swapped last season.
I think
which is mad.
To be honest, one of his best mates was Herrera's. Probably sent him a new PSG shirt.
There's every chance it's that.
There's a good chance it's that.
Yeah, there's every chance it's
Still that. Not maybe the.
But, I mean, he was on a stadium tour at Estudiantes, wasn't he?
Yeah,
with his brothers. I don't know, maybe he's just a football fan. At the end of the day, it's just another fucking team, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so many of these lads just...
I mean, it's just a weird one.
Haaland was signing at United.
Direct, weren't we? We've got that fucking...
It is a nice shirt, to be fair.
That PSG shirt's nice.
But I don't play for United.
No. It's different, yeah.
And he's also a guy that I know. So we know Raiola... we know Rojo's agent, who was just get me out of this fucking club all last January. Actually.
Yeah.
You wouldn't fucking speak to him because he was like, every time I speak to him, he thinks he's going fucking Madrid.
Everton as well, apparently in from. But Ollie said he's part of the plans. But before we just wrap it up, looking forward to the Wolves game next week. I was chanting, saying in the office here, given how literally thin the squad is now, do we rest a lot of players for this game, obviously after the Christmas period, or do we put a lot of focus into basically what is one of our best chances of actually winning silverware? Like, let's be honest, because I can't see us having the squad depth to win the Europa League.
The choice in midfield is our first choice, which is Matic and Fred, because that's all that's fit.
That sounds so bad when you say it out loud.
Time to throw Jimmy Garner a bone.
Or it's the kids. That's the choice. It's the first choice, so-called.
So you've got...
all the kids. That's the only...
I think the problem with Fred is his decision-making's not perfect. He's been great this month, but I think his decision-making at times is still erratic. If you play Jimmy Garner next to him, who's also... He's not erratic, but he's wild. Okay, he's got like a Brandon Williams wild streak in him sometimes, where I think someone needs to...
He's not someone that's just going to go, I'm going to stay here, you go and do what you want.
He's a nasty little shithouse.
Yeah, he is a nasty little shithouse in the greatest way possible. Yeah. But I think, is it a recipe for disaster to play him alongside Fred? Would it be better if he played alongside maybe McTominay with a bit more discipline or someone like that? I don't know, but do you know what? We're almost at DEFCON 4 desperation. You could do a lot worse than Jimmy Garner. A lot worse.
You got what do you have to lose?
No, and is fucking Sean Longstaff any better than Jimmy Garner?
Probably not.
This is the question people are asking.
Because we got this run of fixtures now. What have we got? We got Wolves Saturday, then City away in the League Cup midweek, and then I think we're Norwich away that Saturday. So the fixtures aren't slowing up. After how many games has it been in the last week and a half? Something like 3 or 4. It's been insane.
It's been a lot, especially with no midfield option. I don't think Fred plays against on the weekend.
We don't have a 35 million buyback clause for Depay. They are illegal in France.
Was Depay a player you'd like to see come back? I don't think so. Not for me, anyway.
He's not one that he's not.
How is this even a thing? Like, look at the shit some of our players get for having businesses, right? Yeah. Depay's got a rap album.
Yeah, mate, it's true.
He dresses like a matador. He's mental. He's mental on another level.
I think he was better than. I think it was a bad time for him at United. I don't think, for as much as Van Gaal brought him in, I don't think he ended up being.
He had a bad attitude, though.
He
had a bad attitude.
And then Mourinho came in, and he was
a layer off him. I think.
Yeah, I don't think. I think if he was still there now, or he'd been signed now, I think he'd have done all right. But again, he's a left-sided player. We don't need any more. What was that
story or something? He got dropped to the reserves and someone pulled him aside. I think it might have been you who told me this. And Rooney said something, don't be flashing your...
It was reserves and he turned up in like a purple Bentley or something like that.
Mate, do you know what? If you can buy a Bentley, buy a purple one.
Yeah,
who gives a fuck?
I know, yeah. I'm not that harsh with it all.
It speaks volumes if you buy a purple Bentley. Although Memphis Depay does strike me as a guy who would buy a purple Bentley.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else we want to add before we go? Anything cheery?
Got an orange one, hasn't he?
Orange Lamborghini.
Of course he fucking
Why
does.
wouldn't? I'm sorry, but if you had that much money, you're going to get an orange Lamborghini. Why not? You just would. For as much as you want to slag these players off for being flashy, like, you've got that much money, you spend it on that kind of stuff.
Can I throw a name into the mix?
Right. Go for it. Go for it.
Cheers. Leon Bailey.
Leon Bailey.
I haven't seen a lot of Bailey play. I like his backstory. I've heard his backstory. Literally, his dad took him all around Europe or something like that. Literally trials for each club from Jamaica, and eventually, what was it, Ghent or Genk? I always get mixed up. Picked him up. So he's fought for his,
the same one that's brought through De Bruyne and Lukaku.
Yeah, so he's something. Haven't seen a lot of him play. Haven't watched a lot of Bundesliga the past few seasons. Always usually do. Left-sided player though. Again, is that
he plays left and right? To be honest,
does he play left and right? Is that a player? Where does he play on the left?
It says left wing on here.
I can't really say. Is it a player we need? I haven't seen him play. I don't know what kind of is he.
This season, 1 assist, 3 goals in 5 starts. Has he been injured? Maybe
he must be injured because you get our Leverkusen in a position
in
to
all
drop
competitions.
A player like that.
2 red cards he's had this year.
Oh, get him on board.
One after 28 minutes, one after 23 minutes.
In the space of 6 games as well.
Anyway, fuck this now.
Definitely around Christmas as well. He's looking for Christmas. Oh, they have a winter break there anyway.
Yeah.
Leon Bailey again. Probably go to Bayern. It's always hard to link players from the Bundesliga because Bayern just fucking hoover them all up.
Yeah.
And if you do get them out of Bayern, you don't want them out of Bayern.
No, we saw that with Schweinsteiger, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe at the time we thought that it was going to be the Schweinsteiger we'd seen in like previous World Cups. Bayern don't let good players go.
For 6 million.
For six. They let one of their all-time club greats, one of the best midfielders to ever play at that club, they let him go to us for 6 million, and we were probably a bit naive in our regard that we were getting so hyped up.
We also signed Schneiderlin at the same time as well.
Oh, but who was worse, do you think, Schneiderlin or Schweinsteiger? I'm going to say Schneiderlin.
I'd say that because deep down I thought Schweinsteiger is just someone to have around. He played 20, 30 games maybe a season, nothing. Schneiderlin was Premier League experience, looks decent, should be playing every week kind of thing eventually.
He's one of the few players I genuinely always forget actually played for United. Like, usually I always think, like, you remember players actually in certain games playing for United. I do not remember a single fucking thing about Morgan Schneiderlin.
Schmidfield, mate.
I remember Schmidfield. I remember
Schmidfield.
Schmidfield. That's about it. He didn't do anything. I think he scored 1 goal against Everton. And that's
we need Fosu Mensah to come back and absolutely own it because he could. He's got the energy, he's got the touch, he's got the ability. He's just fucking radio.
Would you play him in midfield?
Him and Fred would be carnage. Him and Fred would be absolutely
lot of
fucking
suspensions there.
Oh, it'd be mental.
A lot of suspensions
but
there.
we can bring back the phrase, let's go Fosu mental.
Anyway, anything we want to add? It's been quite depressing today. Obviously, there's not much to like.
Timbo coming back.
Yeah.
The window's open. It's been open, 2 days now? We've done fuck all.
Also,
probably get used to that.
If you like these podcasts but you prefer to listen to them, they are available on iTunes and Spotify as well.
Spotify.
And Audio Boom and anywhere you can...
If you want the link to those, the description below has got both the iTunes link and the Spotify link. Yeah. So check it out.
I think that's everything today. Make sure to smash the like button. We will be doing a watch along for the Wolves game.
A quick public service announcement as well. If you're local or you drive and you don't mind, Stretford Paddock FC. You may have heard us briefly talk about it a little bit, but here's the plans. We're joining the football pyramid. We're going to try and get in at Division 10 or Division 11 on the football pyramid, with the Premier League being 1, Championship being 2, League 1 being 3, etc. So that's pretty much where FC United started, would be if we go into North West Counties Division 1. If we're not accepted into North West Counties Division 1, we'll go into the Manchester League. If we can get into the Premier League of the Manchester League, that's Division 11. So that's where we're trying to go into. If you think you can play a little bit, then I will get Cam to put the link for the trial in the bottom. We are having a trial at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning at Ardwick Pits. If you'd like to come along, we'd love to see you. We are going to put out 4 teams. There's going to be an under-18s, a Sunday League, an under-21s, which will be a reserve team, and a first team. For the first 6 months, we're just going to play friendlies, get the coaching right, get all of that sort of stuff right, and then hopefully next season we will be entering into some leagues. So if you're interested in all of that, we've got a load of players with academy experience. There's over 100 players applied so far, but because there's 4 teams, there's plenty of space for everybody. We may even just continue playing some 5 or 7-a-side every single week. So if you're interested, you want to come down and get involved, we need admin people, we need volunteers, we need everything that you think you could possibly need to start a club, from everything.
Referees,
it's just everything. There's nothing we don't need.
Physios, tea men, people to make tea. Because I may be Irish, I'm not going to be stuck doing it, so I need someone to help me doing it.
Just walking around asking people if you want tea.
Plug.
Yeah, 2 sugars or 1.
One last plug.
One last plug as well. Make sure to tune in tonight for Joe's late night show. You've seen the last
PM.
one. It is.
If this was a bit too normal for you, if this was way too normal, and you want chaos,
batshit crazy. Going live at 11. Be prepared for that. We have no idea what he's going to do. He sat there with a little smirk, writing down notes in the corner.
Notepad.
His little evil notepad. Oh my god, I don't even want to know what's in there. But make sure to tune into that. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. Make sure to like the video as well, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.